Всем привет! So, since we have several videos focusing on that same worksheet and we go 2 lines in each video and I translate the sentences and I explain how I do it, I decided to record this kind of like generic intro. So, just figure out which set we're working on. It's in the title and let's keep working.
If you like it, please click like. If it's useful, drop a line. If you love it, hit subscribe. Like me, подпишись и комментарий напиши.
Okay, here's our next set. We're working with these 2 lines, so we will start right here. I didn't know you have a dog. So here we are dealing with a complex sentence because we have two distinct ideas. I didn't know something and you have a dog. So we have to remember each sentence will have a subject. So here we already have a subject. You have a dog. We have a nominative right here. Now remember, it's a little bit illogical when we look at it from the English language point of view because who has a dog? You do. But in Russian construction, when having something, we have to remember that whatever we have is the nominative, the subject of a sentence. And whoever has something, which is the subject in English, in Russian will be u plus genitive. So this you will be u plus genitive. But we still have this sentence. I didn't know. Who didn't know? I didn't know. That's our nominative. So here we have a complex sentence that has two separate sentences, and each of them has a subject and nominative. Here we have, what did you say about your dog? So here, who said something about your dog? You did. That's our nominative, the subject completing the action. We already know that your dog is prepositional because it follows about. That's our context right here. And we also have this what. Remember, we need to remember that who and what actually change in cases. And whatever we say is being said. So that will be accusative. So that will be accusative. Okay, now let's translate into Russian. So here we have, I didn't know you have a dog. So first, all of the default forms. The ones that requires changes. So я, didn't know, не знал. If я is a male, or не знала, if я is a female. And then next one, you have a dog, you, ты. You have something, we use the construction with есть. We also will need the у for the genitive form, and a dog, собака. Okay, now let's put it all together. So I will use я for myself. So since I'm a female, I will be using the female form. Я не знала. Comma. In Russian, remember, the complex sentences are separated by comma. Я не знала. Now, in English, you don't have anything here. I didn't know you have a dog. But you also can say, I didn't know that you have a dog by adding that. And in Russian, we almost always have it. So we will need to add this что as the conjunction that connects these sentences together, that connects the complex sentences. Я не знала, что. So our что connects the two sentences, and that's that. I didn't know that. And then we restart. You have a dog. So you will be u plus genitive. So we go to the personal pronouns. We take ты, and we use the genitive form plus у тебя. Что? У тебя есть. When we have something, that's the construction we use. And then whatever we have, a dog. And since it's nominative, no changes needed. Я не знала, что у тебя есть собака. I did not know that you have a dog. I didn't know you have a dog. So here we have, what did you say about your dog? What did you say about your dog? So first of all, again, let's look up all the words. So what in the default form is что, you. Ты did say. Сказал or сказала, or it can be говорил. or говорила. So depending on what aspect we're working with, so what did you say is like, what did you say? What specific thing you said? That would be сказал. Versus, hey, what were you saying about your dog? Of a fact that you said something, not specifically what you said, that would be говорил, говорила. But I would say it's more common to use the imperfective one in this aspect, even though it's kind of like a one-time action, but it's more like, hey, what were you saying about your dog? I just forgot. You were saying something I forgot. So говорил, говорила. Then we have about, о, and then your, твой. Again, it's the default form, the masculine form. And then dog, собака. Okay, now let's put it all together. So remember what is going to be in the accusative. And so что doesn't change in accusative. Nominative and accusative forms are the same. Что. So we just say что. Что did you say? Ты говорил. So I'll say ты is a guy. So что ты говорил. Then we have about, о, and then we have to put your dog into the prepositional case. So first, let's take a look at собака. And we did it before. So собака is the feminine noun that ends in a. In the prepositional, feminine nouns that end in a get the ending е. So о собаке. All we're missing is your dog. That's a question mark. Okay, so here we have твой, which is the default form for your. So here, remember, мой is the same as твой. So whatever form we come up with, мой is going to be the same form for твой. So here we have it, but we need to go to feminine prepositional. So мой, моя, below the line, моей, and since it's the same as твой, it will be твоей. Твоей. If I'm going too fast with this form, please rewatch my previous tutorials. Now, что ты говорила о твоей собаке? Now, here also, remember there's this note about свой. Yeah, this note about свой. And it really can replace my own, your own, his own, her own, and so on. So here, we can totally replace it with что ты говорил о своей собаке. So it's going to be exactly the same thing. Что ты говорил о своей собаке, что ты говорил о твоей собаке. In this context, it's all going to be what did you say about your dog? Okay, our next sentence, kids play in the water and I'm watering the flowers with water. Who plays in the water? Kids do. So that's our subject of a sentence and it's a nominative. And we already know that water is in the prepositional because here we're looking at it as a location for water. And here we have, I'm watering the flowers with water. Who's watering the flowers with water? I am. That's our nominative. Then what am I watering? What is being watered? The flowers. And that's the direct object. So action is being done directly to it. They are being watered. So that's our accusative. And we already remember that water will be instrumental because here it's basically a tool for watering. I know it's very odd to be thinking about it, but it is. And basically, when we're using something as a tool, in English we say with, and in Russian we don't. We just put the word into the instrumental case. Okay, now let's translate. So kids play in the water. So kids will be дети. Play, играют. Then in the waters. Once again, it's basically our location. And again, we have to choose between v and na. Since kids are playing, let's say, this is the lake. Yeah, that's the beach. And kids are playing in the water. So they're inside the water. So that would mean v. Okay, and the word вода for water. So let's put it together. Дети играют в, and then we put вода into the prepositional case, and again, we already know feminine that ends in a gets the «е» ending. Дети играют в воде. And this one is I am watering the flowers with water. So here we need я am watering, поливаю the flowers, цветы. Then we don't need with. Remember, we don't need it since we use water as an instrument, and water, вода. Okay, let's put it together. So я поливаю, and whatever we water is a direct object. So we need the form for accusative for the word цветы. Цветы is plural, ends in «ы», so we need the accusative form. So if it's a what, it's going to be the same as nominative. If it's a who, it's a genitive. Since flowers cannot look us in the eye, that's going to be the same as nominative. So no changes. Я поливаю цветы. And then вода will change into instrumental. So вода ends in a, it's above the line, so it's hard, hard stays hard. We go to instrumental and we have ой. Now we have this 5 that might be affecting it. If we drop the letter a, we are left with the consonant d. D is not part of the 5-letter rule, so that switch does not apply. So we only need this ой. Цветы, вод, we removed a and added ой. Я поливаю цветы водой. Okay, so we are done with the next set of sentences. And as always, if you have any questions, if something was not clear, please put it in the comments. And for the next time, focus on the next 2 lines or 4 sentences of this worksheet. And as always, all materials can be found in the description to this video. Keep learning Russian. Пока-пока.
If you like it, please click like.